Hi everybody! Welcome back to night 2 of my 13 days of Halloween music and story celebration. I thoroughly enjoyed having you over here to read the spooky wheels on the bus with me last night. And tonight I'm excited to read you Hugo Makes a Change by Brett Emmons. When Hugo the vampire would wake in the night, he'd say to himself, I could go for a bite. There was only one food he wanted to eat. This creature was crazy for juicy red meat. He'd prowl every steakhouse and diner in town. He'd order 10 burgers and he'd scarf them all down. Then he'd gobble up hot dogs, a roast, and a ham, a T-bone or two, and a big leg of lamb, baby back ribs, and a pound of pastrami, then turkey, beef jerky, and greasy salami. And after he'd downed every one of those things, he'd eat a whole bucket of buffalo wings. I'm stuffed, he would always exclaim when he'd fed. So he'd drag himself home and he'd go right to bed. And night after night, he felt bloated and slow. His body was droopy, his energy low. And that put him into a glum sort of mood. He began to grow sick of his usual food, for his meals had been the same up to then. And at last, in his boredom, he cried, Meat again. Perhaps, Hugo said, if I go and explore, I'll find things I've never tried eating before. He drooped in a garden where vegetables grew, but as soon as he saw them, he shouted out, Ew! The leaves are all wrinkly, the blobs are all lumpy, those long things are green, and their skin is all bumpy. No way I'll ever try foods of that kind. I better keep looking and see what I find. Then he flew to a tree where he saw something red. Is it some kind of meatball? He doubtfully said. He feared that it could still be something he'd hate, but flying had made him too hungry to wait. With his sharp little fang, he bit into its skin. Oh my, that's delicious, he said with a grin. So tangy and tart, yet juicy and sweet. It's like nothing I've tasted. An absolute treat. I've got to try more before night turns to day. These things in the garden just might be okay. As soon as he tried them, he happily smiled. The carrots were crunchy, the peppers were mild. He loved the tomatoes, the cucumbers too, although garlic he passed, as all vampires do. Back home in his kitchen, he shouted with cheer, I'll gladly eat peas any day of the year. I can still have a burger, or chicken, or ham, but I'll serve them with broccoli, some greens, or a yam. I can make a fruit salad with peaches and cherries, bananas and pineapples, melons and berries. It didn't stop there. He discovered new snacks. He'd nibble on nuts when he'd sit and relax. When riding his bike in the moon's eerie glow, he'd fill up on raisins to give him more go. And soon he could tell that his muscles were stronger. He didn't feel sluggish or slow any longer. I've never felt better, he'd shout in mid-flight. It's great to have so many good things to bite. And now, every evening, he flies near and far for the best fruits and veggies, wherever they are. And whenever he stops for a bite in the dark, he reminds us by leaving his own little mark. A hole in an apple, a peach, or a pear will show you that Hugo the vampire was there.
I have to clap.
The end. You can do it. Evie wanted to be off camera today, but she's still part of the audience. I hope you enjoyed reading Hugo Makes a Change and get to talking about what your favorite fruits and vegetables are. Come join us tomorrow for night 3 of our music and stories celebration of Halloween. Good night.